I have been to a couple of games in some non-revenue sports, high school, lower-level sports. I've been to a lot of high school sports, back when I was working television in Flint, where we drive around to all these high school gyms. And sometimes the people on the mic, the PA mic, I've been there when they thought they were doing play-by-play. And it's like, okay, I don't know if you know, you're not supposed to do that.
Right, just listen to who scores. That's
You're just supposed to say, basket by Smith.
Exactly.
Now checking into the game, number 2, Jones, replacing number 23, Anderson.
By the way, we are Facebook Live right now, so if you follow 97 The Ticket on Facebook, you can watch us and comment on us as well.
I wish you'd mentioned that to me before the segment starts so I could fix my hair. Anyway, so there's more. One official said he had to go over to the announcer and tell him not to talk into the microphone when North Farmington players had the ball ready to shoot free throws. When a recent transfer player checked into the game for North Farmington, the announcer announced, straight from Atlanta, Georgia, checking in. Negotiant also heard him say into the microphone, welcome to North Farmington refereeing.
What?
After a Hazel Park assistant coach was assessed a technical foul, the report said the Hazel Park announcer made comments with no further intent other than to incite a hostile environment for the officials and the North Farmington players and coaches. The referee stopped the game, went over, and asked him to tell the announcer that he could no longer call the game.
I was going to say, at what point in the game did this happen when they finally said you got to go?
It doesn't say.
Had you ever done PA announcing for high school or anything like that?
I don't think I have.
I did it for when I was in high school for some soccer games and for some basketball games.
Yeah.
Never would I have ever thought to interject stuff like that. And you know me, sometimes I can't hold my tongue. I'll say something about some things.
Oh, you always do.
I could never have done something like that during a game. Are you kidding me? This guy is like running commentary during a game where there's already tensions are high with the teams and the crowd, and he's fanning the flames of that?
Yep.
Throwing gasoline on that fire?
Yep.
Wow. That must have been something to be in attendance of that game.
Well, again, having heard it before, it always kind of cracks me up a little bit because I feel like somebody hasn't been told exactly what their job is. Because the PA announcer, for the most part, I mean, you can get excited for the home team, but they're not offering much commentary. It's just fact-based. You can get a three-pointer good by Jones, for the home team.
Well, yeah. Basket good by Waldo.
Yeah. For the road
other
team,
right.
Yeah. But it's real fact-based stuff. Anyway, we'll keep our eye on this one. I wonder if there's video of this anywhere.
Someone's got to. At some point, if tensions are getting high, you imagine. Well, first of all, aren't all the games videotaped anyway?
Just about. I think every coaching staff wants the games videotaped so they can go back and scout and look at things.
But even to put on the community website or follow along on cable TV or something like that, it seems like most high school games, there's a video aspect to it.
Yeah. And that is one that I hope surfaces. Because I bet some of the coaches were like, what? 248-539-9797, ticket text 97136. Maybe some listeners were there and they could tell us about it. Gator, we need to follow up on a story we had yesterday. McGregor and Mayweather. Now, if you heard us talk about the potential for this fight to take place, this boxing match to take place, we cited that it came from the Irish Sun, and we weren't so sure about the Irish Sun as S-U-N, the Irish Sun newspaper, as a source on this. But they, had basically been reporting that the deal has been agreed upon, Mayweather-McGregor, and that they will fight. It's just a matter of, signing the contracts. And apparently the Irish Sun jumped the gun a little bit, and we were kind of questioning the source. But Gator, is this a fight that simply put doesn't need to happen? And I mean that as in, You just don't care. I heard Jamie talking about this morning, and his take was that the average sports fan doesn't care. And Jamie and I tend to see the world through a similar prism.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah. I think the average sports fan actually does care about this. I think this gets the attention of the non-fight fan. In fact, in some ways, it brings two worlds together and makes it even a bigger audience because there is still a boxing crowd. There's definitely a UFC crowd. And I don't know how much they blend over. I don't know. I'm saying I really don't know. But how much do they blend over? And isn't this potentially the biggest fight ever?
Well, I think the crowds definitely blend over. Maybe not as much as you would expect them to, because there's some fiercely loyal boxing fans that won't give any other kind of discipline a second look.
And those fiercely loyal boxing fans are probably dying for this to happen to prove something about boxing.
Without a doubt. And on the other side of it, there are fiercely loyal MMA fans who are dying to see their guy take down a boxer because they don't think much of just having a single discipline. But it's a boxing match. In the end, I think this fight has massive appeal, obviously, to both of those fan bases. You look at the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight and how well it did, and yeah, there was a huge interest in that because of the two fighters involved. Wish it would have happened maybe 5 years earlier, but nonetheless, there was interest in it. Conor McGregor is the new hotness. All right, he is someone who transcends not just MMA. He's beyond that. People know who he is. He knows how to promote himself. He's been an incredible self-promoter. And over the last couple of years, I think he's frankly taken the UFC and put it on his back and carried the entire sport. All due respect to Ronda Rousey, but when she lost, things changed dramatically for her. And, you know, she'd only fought a couple times in the last couple of years. Conor McGregor, his press conferences are must-see TV. Because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if he's going to throw a chair across the room, bottle of water across the room, or if he's just going to drop F-bomb after F-bomb and shouting a guy down.
I'll bet on that.
It's wildly entertaining. And I think he has mass appeal. And I think that there are people that don't like Floyd Mayweather, and the thought of seeing him get beat up by somebody else, maybe they'll tune in for it. I would imagine this would be if they get it done, it will be the highest pay-per-view sports event in combat sports history.
And I guess the question is, does the non-fight fan actually get involved with this one?
I think they do, to some extent. Now, it's not like the Super Bowl where you're getting half the country is going to watch it.
Right.
But I think there's going to be quite a few people that you wouldn't expect. Like, wow, really? So that much of an audience, huh?
There's two things here. One is non-fight fans. Would you say, you know what, this one might get my attention? It's a little bit gimmicky, but the idea of a UFC fighter and one of the most outspoken, brash of all time against, arguably the greatest pound-for-pound fighter of all time, that you put them in a ring together to see what happens in a boxing match. Would that draw you in? And is there anyone that doesn't want to see this happen? Somebody here on our crew doesn't want to see this happen. We will get to that in 5 minutes. Open lines, 248-539-9797. Hey, it's that time again.